details in the death of Mahogany Jackson. 6 of the 8 suspects in court today. Thank you so much for joining us here at 6. I'm Brittany Decker.
I'm Guy Rawlings. We've been following the Mahogany Jackson case. WVTM 13's Aaron Llewellyn live and local in Birmingham tonight outside the Jefferson County Courthouse. A lot of the details too gruesome to talk about, Aaron.
Yeah, Guy, Brittany, the hearing today lasted for about 3 hours, and the legal teams went through the details of what led up to Mahogany Jackson's death and even uncovered some new details about her final moments, and some of it was too unbearable for her family to hear. Now, today we know that the defense attorneys claim that Jackson was at one of the suspects' house, Brandon Pope, and questioned him about a gun that she says was stolen and money that was also stolen from her purse at some point throughout the day. She even made him strip to prove he didn't have it. Now, Pope told Harris to do something to her because she made him strip. Now, the detectives working the case say Jackson was assaulted multiple times throughout the time she was being held against her will. Now, both Jackson and some of the suspects' families were in the courtroom today for the detailed hearing, some of it becoming emotional. Now, District Attorney Danny Carr says her family might be disappointed some of the charges were reduced or thrown out, but they are one step closer to justice.
They understand the circumstances, but they also appreciate what we have in front of us, and they understand that this is a marathon and not a sprint. There's still a lot of work ahead of us, and we'll be there with them every step of the way and make sure that there's accountability.
Now, later in the day before Jackson died, she was put in Harris's car, and he, Pope, and McDowell took her to clean Harris's car out.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. The topic we're getting into is Alabama Mahogany Jackson Unalive by friends. Her mother speaks. We're going to listen to the mother. But I just wanted to start off with, why would anybody want to hang with something like these type of people? The lesson for today is you have to choose your friends wisely, who you want to associate with. What's going on? I read an article. She stole a gun. Somebody stole it from her. She told the guy to strip, humiliated him. Then everybody retaliated. I don't know. This whole thing is a mess. But this is just such a sad way to go. But the point I'm trying to make is you cannot be around these type of people. You can't live this kind of life. I'm just saying this is horrific. Choose your friends wisely. Reason.
Even though the defense claims Harris said they were taking her back to her house, that's when Harris is accused of pulling the trigger and shooting Jackson in the...
Look at them. You can tell they're up to no good. They ain't doing nothing with their lives. I wonder if any of them employed. What kind of job do they have? Did they further their education? Did they finish high school? Did they try to get a trade to do something? No. Don't hang with these type of people. You don't. This is ridiculous. This really is. This is so sad. And I see you, Susie Q and BG, and I see you, KK. I see you up in here. All right, let's get back to it. I'm not gonna hold y'all here forever, but let's get through this one here.
In the back of the head. Now, District Attorney Danny Carr calls this one of the most gruesome murders he's ever seen.
Since I've been in this office, I've had some, yes. Some of y'all maybe, I was young too at the time, but the Thanksgiving homicide at the Airport Inn Hotel, where 3 people were brutally murdered in the Airport Inn Hotel on Thanksgiving morning. I actually handled that case and tried.
And who just crept through the back door? Do I see Captain? And blessings to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Isn't this a sad story? Crazy. Resume. Good to see you, Captain.
Tried it myself. That was a very brutal case. This one, unlike that one, the brutality kind of played itself out in real time because it's video. There's a video involved.
Now, this case is still being investigated, so new details could emerge in the coming days. And the things that are still being investigated are rape kits and ballistic results. Now, the 2 other suspects in this case are expected to be back in court for the same hearing on Monday.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to read the article. So we're going to get into this article. Look at them. You don't hang with these type of people. It's nothing good going to come out of it. Nothing. This is really sad. Oh my gosh, the torture she went through. Okay. Let me read this article. All right, let's get into this article. And then I'm going to show some more clips. I promise y'all, I won't keep y'all here forever tonight. All right. What's this article I got here? You know what? Let me read it from here. All right. This came from WBRC, Fox 6 News. And this came out, when the heck did this come out? This came out March 13, 2024, time at 2:23 p.m. Eastern Time. Jefferson County, Alabama. 6 of the 8 defendants charged in the death of Mahogany Jackson appeared in court Wednesday for a preliminary hearing. Jackson was found dead at the illegal dump site in Jefferson County, February 26, 2024. They didn't care nothing about her body. Nothing at all. Just dumped her like she was just a piece of trash. Didn't care. Based on the testimony and the evidence presented during the hearing, Jefferson County District Judge William Bell found probable cause the defendant committed the majority of the crime as charged and bonds the case over the grand jury consideration. Some of the defendant's charges were bond over last week following a lengthy bond hearing. Wednesday, Bell, that's I guess the judge, you're talking about the judge. Yes, Wednesday the judge bond over the following counts. 1 count of capital murder for Brandon Pope. 2 counts of capital murder for Francis Harris. 1 count of capital murder for Jeremiah McDowell. Hope I'm saying it right. And single felony murder counts for Giovanni Claps and Lewis. Whatever these low-life thugs are, whatever their names are. I am so glad that they caught them, because these type of people do not need to be walking the streets. They serve the devil. They don't have nothing good about them. Nothing. But they gone. They never gonna walk the streets again. All right, what am I at? Okay. The judge also bonded over the assault second-degree charge for Lewis. Clapp's assault second charge was reduced to third-degree assault, which is a misdemeanor. Ariana Robinson, appeared in court, but the felony murder case was bonded over by another judge. All right, where are we at? During the hearing, the state showed screenshots from the cell phone videos taken by several of the defendants. They just sat there and videotaped everything. Everything. Sick. These people are sick. Who's your parents? Who's the mommy and daddies that laid down and made these monsters? But you know what? You probably got some decent parents. They just got unfortunate and have some messed up kids. They probably happy that he got you all out of the house. Resume. The prosecution went image by image, allowing Birmingham Police Department case agent Detective Mark Green to explain what was happening in the pictures. Green's testimony revealed that Jackson was dragged, assaulted, spit on, slapped, kicked, punched. Multiple suspects were seen in the video holding, you know I'm talking about, weapons, and pointing them at Jackson. The state asked Green whether Jackson was ever free to leave at any point during the videos. He responded, no, she was not. At one point, Green explained one of the defendants struck Jackson in the head repeatedly with a baseball they found on the ground nearby. So they saw a baseball and they decided, let me just beat her with it. Telling you, I'm glad they off the streets, man. I'm so glad. Jackson was then taken to an apartment and assaulted during the Green testimony. Lord have mercy. At this point, she had been stripped nude. Handcuffs were placed on her. And this is the video where they were stomping her without clothing. Green said of one of the images, Lord, these are evil. Evil. Serving the devil, boy. They have to be. How you gonna believe in God and be a Christian and do stuff like this? Well, you got some people that do, Christians, and they still do. But you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's go back. Testimony revealed that Pope drove Jackson from the apartment to the place that she was killed, which is also known as Dead Man's Row. What the heck is Dead Man's Row? What is this we talking about, Dead Man's Row? I'm lost. McDowell and Harris were in the car, according to the testimony. The autopsy revealed that Jackson unalived from a gunshot wound to the back of her head. Wow. According to the witness statements, Harris reportedly shot Jackson. Harris' attorney argued there is no physical evidence tying Harris to firing the shot. Multiple defense attorneys cross-examined Green, revealing that multiple videos are still being processed by the law enforcement, along with the forensic evidence that could further tie the defendant to the Jackson's death. All defense attorneys argue the lack of physical evidence should stop these cases from being referred to the grand jury. Well, you know, the defense got to they grasping for straws. they got to figure out some good luck. 3 guns has been recovered, which are also being processed. At this point, it is unclear which gun was used to kill Jackson, but projectiles was recovered from her body during the autopsy. Green testified that based on witness statements, this all began because Jackson reportedly stole a gun, which one of the defendants allegedly stole back from her. Okay, so Mahogany stealing guns and somebody else stole that gun from her. Oh, this is just a hot mess. Stole back from her. Jackson family called 911 on February 25th after receiving a text that said, "I've been kidnapped. Send help. Don't call." The text gave the location, which was Lewis' address. Defendant McCall and Green will have a preliminary hearing next week. All right, let's get into this next clip here. Oh, I didn't. Boy, I thought I had it set up. All right, let's listen to a little bit of the press conference here. We're gonna get into that one. And if nobody hit the like, make sure you hit it now. Man, you gotta pick your friends wisely. Stealing guns? She's stealing guns. Somebody stole a gun from her. And then she telling him to strip, humiliated him. And everybody was like, okay, let's just get revenge. You know, this is, look at it. Look at them. Do you see this picture? Would y'all social? All right, let's get back to it. Where am I up to? I mean, what am I doing? All right, let's listen to a little bit of this news conference. Let's get it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Officer Truman Fitzgerald of the Birmingham Police Department's Public Information Division. Joining me tonight for this press conference is BPD Police Chief Scott Thurman, along with Deputy Police Chief of the Detective Bureau, Sheila Finney, and members of our homicide team who work hard each and every day to bring justice like this case we're announcing tonight. Tonight you'll hear from BPD Police Chief Scott Thurman about an update in the Mahogany Jackson homicide investigation. And at this time, Chief Scott Thurman.
So good evening. The Birmingham Police Department announces 7 arrests have been made in the Mahogany Jackson homicide investigation. On Sunday, February 25th, 2024, the Birmingham Police Department officers began investigating the missing persons case of 20-year-old Mahogany Jackson. Mahogany sent a text message to a family member that she had been kidnapped. Early the following day, officers and detectives discovered Mahogany's body in the 1700 block of Laurel Avenue. Investigators determined that she had been shot. With assistance from the community, detectives were not only able to locate Mahogany Jackson's body, but detectives took 7 suspects responsible for Mahogany's murder into custody within 48 hours of this investigation. On Wednesday, February 28, 2024, detectives were able to obtain arrest warrants for the following suspects. Giovanni Clapp, black female, 23 years of age. She is charged with felony murder, kidnapping first degree, sodomy first degree, and assault second with injury. Blair Green, black male, 25 years of age of Birmingham, is charged with felony murder, kidnapping first degree, and sodomy first degree. Tasia Lewis, black female, 25 years of age of Birmingham, is charged with felony murder, assault second, injury with a weapon. Francis Harris, black male, 25 years of age of Birmingham, Alabama, is charged with capital murder, sodomy first degree, and capital murder and kidnapping first. Sanaya McCall, black female, 23 years of age of Bessemer, Alabama, is charged with felony murder, kidnapping first, and sodomy first.
What case says, and why did it take 8 of them demons to destroy her pure evil waste of human life? Because they was born evil. You cannot hang around with these type of people. You cannot. She had to witness them doing some crazy stuff. You can't hang around these type of people. They will turn against you. If they doing ruthless stuff, people like this, these kind of thugs, if they doing ruthless stuff to other people, you think they're going to care about you? I bet you half of them disrespect their mother and their father. Probably got their parents living in fear, with y'all living in the house. They want to get rid of you, but they can't get rid of you. They scared what's going to happen. So they probably happy as heck that you're gone. But if this goes to trial, I'm going to watch, because I want to see how many people's going to come in here and support y'all bunch of knuckleheads. So tired of these enablers. But not every parent's an enabler. So let's get it straight. Not everybody. Resume.
Jeremiah McDowell, black male, 18 years of age, of Bessemer, Alabama, is charged with capital murder, sodomy first, and capital murder with kidnapping first. Brandon Pope, black male, 24 years of age, of Birmingham, Alabama, is charged with capital murder, kidnapping first, and capital murder with sodomy first. The facts of this case are deplorable and sickening. Saddest of all, they were made public by the suspect's decision to videotape portions of this horrific act. We hope to shield Mahogany's family and friends by withholding specific facts surrounding the investigation. However, we have determined that Mahogany was a victim of sexual assault with murder and kidnapping. Recently, Mayor Randall Woodfin and the Birmingham Police Department have urged the public assistance to help the Birmingham Police Department investigate violent acts such as these described in this case. In Birmingham, you answered the call. It's hurtful to know that 7 individuals could participate in such vile acts, but this case highlights the strengths and the effectiveness of the partnership between the Birmingham Police Department and our community, as 7 suspects are now behind the bars and will soon be in custody of the Jefferson County Jail with no bond. And I'll tell you, as many of you know, I served a number of years in the homicide unit, and this is undoubtedly one of the most heinous acts I've seen in my career. It's absolutely disgusting. And I'm very thankful to the men and women of the Birmingham Police Department who've worked tirelessly for many days and at very long hours to bring resolution to this particular case and get these individuals off the streets of Birmingham. And I also want to highlight the assistance of the citizens of Birmingham who came forward and gave us information that led to the arrest of these individuals. And I can't thank them enough.
Pursue your
Chief, can you tell us how long Mahogany was held hostage and tortured, and do you have a possible letter?
I will say that all of these individuals were acquaintances, that they were not strangers to one another. As far as an exact time on how long she was held, I don't have that information.
And do you have a potential motive?
I would just say they're all acquaintances of one another.
I know on
The motive is... Okay, the motive is, I'm going to go back to the article. Green testified that based on the witness statement, this all began because Mahogany Jackson, reportedly stole a gun, which one of the defendants allegedly stole back from her. And like we heard the news clip, and the next thing you know, she demanded that he strip, and he was humiliated. And then everything just turned and went there. Yep, that was the motive. And then plus jealousy, too, because they not no true friends. It's jealousy. I mean, look at these girls. Look at them. Come on. Let's look at them. Look at her. Look at that Frances Harris. Look at them. Scared. Look at these guys. When was the last time y'all got a haircut? You don't want to get a haircut. And they think they cute. Oh, Lord. I hope they not nobody's father or mother. But most likely they are. And anybody knows how old is her daughter? Her daughter, her son. They said she has a child. If anybody knows how old is Mahogany's child, I'm curious. Resume.
early Monday morning, you all went out there with the family to go look for her. What happened during that time? Were you all able to find her, or clearly not at that moment, but what happened? How did you...
Well, Monday's when we found her body. Sunday's when we got the information about the fact that she had been kidnapped and began a search to try and locate her. It was in the early hours of Monday morning that we received information that led us to where her body was, so we were able to recover and begin a homicide investigation at that point.
So in no way you all made it to the apartment complex that was in question?
We had been to that apartment complex on Sunday, yes.
So what happened there? Did you make contact with any of
We
the
did make
suspects at
contact
the
with
time?
someone. We did question some individuals.
What came of that conversation?
One of those individuals is charged.
Did they admit to...
I'm not going to get into the specifics of the case because that would hurt the criminal case, but...
Oh, let me add, Susie, do you know after all this crazy stuff they did to her, they made her go outside and wash the guys' cars? clean out their car, wash or whatever, clean out their car. You hear this? Good Karma, you hear this? Oh, the door. Good Karma, you know everything. 3 years, and she's 20? Oh. Oh. Yep, BG, all under 30. The daughter's 3 years old. Wow. And she's 20 years old. Wow. All right, let's get through this one. I'm gonna go to the press conference. Then we're gonna hear. Yeah, it is absolutely crazy. They did all kind. I can't even say it, but I think you know what I'm talking about. They just didn't care. They just went all in. Stripped her naked and everything. But I think if I'm correct, she made that guy strip naked to see if he stole the gun that she stole from somebody. Choose your friends wisely. All right, let's get back to it. We got to listen to what the moms have to say. After this, we're going to listen to the mother.
It was all pieces of the puzzle, I guess, if you could say.
And out of situations like these, where with her texting her family members saying she was being hostage or asking them to send the police, and you go to this apartment, can you just go in? Is that probable cause? Like, how does that work?
So we have to look at the totality of circumstances. Each case is different, has a different set of facts. We have to look at what we've got. And then, there's different ways, whether we need to obtain a search warrant, we can gain consent, or as you kind of alluded to, if the facts are just egregious enough, then we could go in and make sure no one's in danger.
So of the 7 people, have most of them been compliant and talking to detectives who have been working on this case?
There again, that's something that will need to come out in court. That's part of the criminal case.
Chief, how exactly did the public assist in identifying these suspects, and are you confident that these are all of the suspects involved?
I am very confident that this is all the suspects. Just them giving us some of the information that they had seen, that they'd been made aware of, giving that information to our detectives so they could follow up from there, which led us to the culmination of these individuals being in jail today.
Chief, I know you said you can't tell us the motive right now, but I saw, is it true, can you confirm, has there been like a video going around of a fight prior to the murder that occurred?
Well, I won't necessarily say there was a fight. There's videos of some of these heinous acts taking place, and that's something that was a pivotal piece of the investigation. So I'll just leave it at that.
Chief, how big of a role would you say those text messages and her contacting her family, how big of a role did that play?
Well, I think that was a very big role because that kind of got the police involved. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been involved prior to that time had that information not gotten out to someone so they could alert us so we could begin an investigation. The investigation initially began as a missing persons case. Our investigators spent all day out, most of that night, trying to locate her, following up on leads to see where she could be and things of that nature. And then, unfortunately, a few hours later, we received information of where her body was. We went to that location and did indeed find her body.
Chief, I just want to clarify something with earlier.
I don't know if it was in a clip I seen or something I read, but I wanted to add there was another situation. They said how she texted her mother. Oh, where's my article at? What was it that she texted? Okay, Jackson's family called 911 on February 25th after receiving a text that said that I've been kidnapped. Send help. Don't call. The text gave the location, which was at Lewis Place. I guess some sort of way, because I was wondering. I said, if she did this, and you got 8 people, and they all do all this crazy stuff, how did she get a chance to text? I don't know. Something must have happened that she was able to text, but they realized that she did, and then they was trying to telling her, give me the password. I guess she didn't. She probably felt like it looked like I'm gonna die, so why make it easier for them? So she didn't give them the password, and they started beating her up even more. Lord have mercy. Resume.
Did the suspects all know each other? Did they also know the victim?
Yes. Everyone involved in the case, victim suspects, were all acquainted with one another.
Can you say if the person that led you to Mahogany's body is one of the suspects?
They're not.
And if you know where Mahogany was shot, was that the apartment complex?
There again, that's some of the facts that the detectives they'll be presenting in court.
How much longer do you think it'll take to kind of sort of wrap this case up before you get to court? Are there more things?
I want to ask the people that's here or whoever's watching replay, just curious. I don't know, but are these lowlifes, are they all part of a gang? Is there some sort of gang thing going on here? Cause I don't see them really working a job, doing anything with their lives. Just curious. If anybody know the answer, let me know. put in the comment section, or you can email me. I'm just curious. Resume.
There's constantly always things, that are ongoing in a case. There's a lot of other leads and things to follow up on, testing of evidence, getting, things back from search warrants, things of that nature. So there's always, just because an arrest is made, there's still a lot of things that need to be done before we get to court to make sure that every stone is unturned, everything is checked into and evaluated.
Do you all think that these are the only people that were involved, all 7?
Yes. Yes.
How many other locations was she taken to other than the first apartment?
There were some others, there again, that's something that's kind of critical to the case that, only the people involved would know some of that information. So sharing that with the public could potentially hurt the criminal case in the future.
Can you say if she was killed at the location she was found or killed somewhere else?
I don't have that information.
Is there anything you want to say to the community? I know we have for several weeks, days, have been talking about homicides happening, and in 48 hours, people came forward, which is not common in some of the cases that you all are dealing with. Is there anything that you want to say to those folks who came out and helped the detective business?
I would just like to drop.
Thank you, Good Karma. Like I said, it's rumors. We don't know for sure, but this is all the signs of gang members. This kind of behavior, the way they look and stuff like that. But it will all come up in the courts. We'll find out. And if they are gang members, why you hang with gang members? Do not hang with them. There's nothing good out of it. I remember, I'm having a little flashback. I remember in high school. You got the little gangs and stuff, whatever. I don't know what that heck it was called, whatever it was. And I remember one of the guys wanted to talk to me, and I was like, are you crazy? You are part of a gang. And what's going to happen is, you going to get mad at me, think you going to get me? No, it ain't happening. No, I'm not that type of dude. I'm not that type of... Yeah, When a woman leave you, they'll wait. They'll change. Okay, let's get back to it. I know I'm talking too much.
Home to our citizens that this is the outcomes that we can have when we all work together. We can get these people off the street very quickly to ensure the safety of everyone in Birmingham when we all work together and information is shared. And so these men and women who work in the Birmingham Police Department work very hard. They haven't hardly been home working on this case and some of the other cases, but this is what can happen when we all work together and we share information.
You see the line half on the right there? Just wanted to say that. All right, now we're going to get into what Mama has to say. Let's listen to her. She lost her baby. Oh, my God. She looked just like her mother. Oh, my gosh. Looked just like her mother. All right. Listen to enjoy the music, and give me a second. And then after that clip, I will let y'all go. Unless you have any questions. All right. How much? Nope. Okay. Okay, now we got the clip. Let's listen to what the mother's brief interview. Resume.
Today, as she has been for the legal proceedings pursuing justice in her daughter's death. The details have been difficult for any parent to hear. I sat down exclusively tonight with Gail Maddox Trotter, who had her pastor John Cook with her for support, to go beyond the headlines and learn about the daughter taken from her.
She was full of life, and she loved her family. She had just...
Do you see it? Her daughter looked just like her. Just a younger version, just like her. Resume.
Begun getting real close to her cousins, and she was my baby. you know. And she had a baby and didn't deserve what happened to her.
What happened to Mahogany Jackson is unspeakable. Kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered at 20 years old. A text message from Mahogany is one of the first signs that her mom says she got that something was wrong. She was on the road traveling at the time.
She sent me a text message, and it said that she was being held hostage in apartment 3. Do not call. Send the police. Hurry.
In our interview, she talked about the timeline for police to arrive at that location and what was going through her mind. Because in your heart, you know something's not right.
I knew something was wrong with my child. Let me tell you something. Mahogany is not the type of person, she's tough. Let me tell you, she's tough. She's not the type of person that's going to call for help if she does not need it. She was afraid. And I know that because that's my child. You see, so far 8 people have been arrested. 1 child. 1 20-year-old, but she weighed like 115 pounds. You know, she was a tough cookie, but she couldn't handle that, and she was terrified.
According to Birmingham Police, the 8 people charged in the death of Mahogany Jackson are all acquaintances. When you got that call that she had been found, who called you?
Okay, I was sitting on the couch. It was like 1 something in the morning. So, and I just got done praying because I knew she was gone. I knew it, I felt it. And I said, Lord, please just make them tell me where my child is. I think earlier I had posted that on Facebook, but I just really prayed really, really hard. And I said, Lord, please just let them tell me where my child is. And it wasn't about 5 minutes later, I got a text message through Messenger. And it was a lady, and she was telling me, you know, to please call her. She had information pertaining to my daughter.
Information about the fate of Mahogany Jackson that turned out to be true. A message Gail Maddox Trotter says came from a woman who, too, was a mother. What did you think of that act, that mom intervening in that way?
I just felt, I was thankful. I was thankful.
She had this message for young adults.
But ultimately, my goal from this, what has happened to my daughter, is that other kids her age will recognize and realize when your parents tell you, hey, this person, they don't mean you any good. They don't have your best interest at hand. Leave this person. Take heed and listen, because this is something that could happen to you.
And I'll be sharing much more from my interview with Gail Maddox Trotter in the coming days. The Woodson Center's Voices of Black Mothers United were also in court today with Gail Maddox Trotter. They've started a fund to help raise Mahogany's 3-year-old daughter that the public can donate to. It's at a SIPCO credit union, and there's just a phone number for you to call to let them know what you are donating money for, her 3-year-old daughter. The number to call, 205.
This was my first time listening to a mother speak, and I'm sharing it. So it just say her daughter's 3 years old. Oh my gosh. Choose your friends wisely. And these low-life degenerates probably was all up in her mother's house, in the fridge, hey ma, and all this kind of stuff. And what they did to her daughter. Wow. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. I do have another clip. Give me a second.
They're charging an 8th person now in that horrible and heinous murder of young Mahogany Jackson earlier this week. Ariana Robinson now is charged with felony murder and kidnapping. All this after one of the other suspects in this case, Jeremiah McDowell, was actually in court this morning. Our camera's there as he was facing a judge for the first time. Prosecutors.
Look at them. Bunch of losers. Y'all ruined your lives. Well, you wasn't trying to do anything with your lives. He wasn't trying to. All y'all look like he wasn't trying to do nothing with your life. He wasn't trying to be productive. He just wanted to be a thug, a loser for the rest of your life. Well, now, God put an end to it. You're going to be in prison for the rest of your life. Good luck.
To say McDowell shot and killed Jackson while attempting to sexually assault her. He is going to stay in the Jefferson County Jail. Court records show 6 other suspects in this case will be in court themselves Monday. Tonight, we're hearing from family members of Mahogany Jackson and District Attorney Danny Carr about this awful case and the impact it has had on them and their community. Bria Chapman is live tonight with what she's learning from that family. Bria.
Yeah, Jonathan, like you said, awful is right. But Mahogany's older sister tells me she is at peace, but she still has moments where she gets very angry after hearing from officers that at least 8 people said and did nothing while her sister was being sexually assaulted, tortured, beaten, and then eventually shot and killed. But they tell me they will not focus on that. Instead, they will remember Mahogany and those happier times they had with her.
Long live Mahogany. We love you.
She was our baby. Like, she was literal baby. The baby of the crew. We knew Hoggy.
That's how Mahogany Jackson's siblings and cousins say they will remember her. They tell me she was the life of the party who always knew how to stand up for herself. And her family says she did that to the very end.
My girl did what she did, told us what she was, helped us out. I'm so proud of her. Like, she did something. She did something. So
I'm glad because
I'm glad she was on her
probably
toes.
would have been just lost.
Thankfully, her sending her location helped police bring suspects into custody. And now those suspects are facing charges for what officials describe as horrific, even barbaric acts. And some of those things depicted were so bad, her big sister was afraid to see her.
I was so afraid to see what she looked like, knowing what happened. And my sister looked good, like she looked real good, and that warmed my heart. Like, that was the most thing.
She has a real pretty sister. That's the sister? Oh, wow. Very pretty. Resume.
Most thing that I was worried about.
But Maddox says she is angry about what happened to Mahogany, but right now she has to be there for her mother and her 3-year-old niece, Nadia.
Of course she's taking it hard, you know. I that's my sister, but that's her daughter, and that's just a different type of pain. And I have kids myself, so I just can only imagine.
And what happened to Mahogany is being described by leaders like District Attorney Danny Carr as horrific and animalistic. On top of that, some of those things were recorded and they've been shared on social media. Something Carr says crosses the line.
She has to live with this forever. And there's some aspects of this situation I know that's devastating to their family. But then to see it reenacted on a video, it almost places you there. And then to see people continue to share it over and over. But at the end of the day, have some respect for them as well. Have some respect for the family. Have some respect for Mahogany.
Yeah, Mahogany's family tells me they want to thank the public, all of their help in trying to bring Mahogany home. They say they are so grateful for that, and her family plans to lay her to rest next Saturday. And again, 8 suspects are being held in the Jefferson County Jail with no bond. Reporting live in Birmingham, I'm Bria Chapman, WBRC.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was just it. I just want to show those different clips and everything. There is one more. Why y'all still here? Let's show the next clip. This is one more news clip. It's one more news clip under 3 minutes. Let's watch that one.
Declutter your closet with the
Cases of Mahogany Jackson's death are officially heading. Prosecutors say all the cases of Mahogany Jackson's death are officially heading into phase 2. Earlier this morning, Blair Green and Cynthia McCall waived their preliminary hearings. That means their felony murder cases automatically are forwarded to the grand jury. Last week, there was graphic testimony.
Look at them. A hot mess. Look at the big one up in the front. She looked like she no good. And you probably the one who did that S thing. Yeah, you look like the type. Yeah, you did that S thing, made her do... I don't want to say it, but I think y'all know what I'm talking about.
During the preliminary hearings in the other 6 suspects' cases, Jackson was kidnapped and assaulted before ultimately being shot in the back of the head in late February. Video of the violence was captured on cell phones. District Attorney Danny Carr said Jackson's family was prepared for another emotional day in court before the final suspects waived this morning's hearings.
I think they were relieved. I think we're all relieved, to be honest with you. There's been a lot of testimony in this case.
Okay, that was it. It was just 1 minute. I thought it was something else, but I think we got the gist of everything, of all the madness that happened. And it really is sad. All I can say, the lesson from this one is choose your friends wisely. And us parents, we have to teach our kids on the type of friends to choose. And we have to show by example, too. Because I know this case, I had a conversation with my sons. I was like, do you see this? Better not catch you hanging out with stuff like this, and don't be bringing them in the house, especially these type of women. Don't bring them in here. If you feel you need to rock with them, it's time for you to move. That's how I feel. All right, anybody have any questions before I end here? I'm about to end now. Any questions? And all that good stuff. All right, I think it was a comment. What I wanted to address. Yep, Susie, they did that. Yes, they did. And so much more. So much more. Yep, BG, this is ridiculous. It's so sad. This is really so sad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's just have a moment of silence for her. She died in a horrific way. But hopefully we can all learn from this and get the lessons from it. Moment of silence.